Okay, let's get this stream started by booting Fallout 4. Gotta remember where it is. I get so out of practice with this. Yeah, in the space of a week I forget where the icon is. I'm kind of ditzy. Well, it's funny because it's not moved in years. This icon has been there since, well, pretty much ever since I installed Fallout 4 script extender, and as a result, which is over a year ago now, and so it's been there for over a year and I still don't remember where it is. Skyrim's even worse because that's been there for multiple years and I still haven't remembered where it is. If I remember correctly, I have to go get Jamaica Plain, which is why the description of the video says what it says. It is the exact same process for claiming Crappy Settlement number 5 for Settlers and Crappy Settlement number 5 for Raiders. The only difference is when you actually have to raid the Settlers out of it. But to be honest, you can go in and murder all the Settlers as long as you then build your settlement and then leave just as soon as you power up the Settler Bringer Inner beacon. Then the new settlers won't attack you on sight. Otherwise, they attack you on sight. So basically, you build a settlement, then power up the signal transmitter, and then you'll sort of leg it. And then when you come back in about 3 days' time, the settlers won't even know that you killed everyone that was there before. Ah, invisible wall. There must be in that just that little bit of space that Nuclear World adds, but they haven't bothered to put a fence on. Also, it's hot. I'm sweaty. It is not overly comfortable. But when this is the noise that it takes with a fan, it is now off because, well, I don't want that on the streamer. If it wasn't that annoying, say so, but otherwise, it's staying off. Why the hell is there a mine out here? Just like a very random spot for a mine. Either the stream's hanging or... you know, it was hanging at the... I don't know if it's just my stream viewer hanging or it's just the stream... Nah, it's a stream viewer hanging. But it happened to hang on the Fallout 4 loading screen, and the card that comes up saying please wait. It was stuck there, which I think was appropriate.
You showed up just in the nick of time.
Did I?
I was just passing through. It was my lucky day then. You wouldn't happen to know of any good places? I sure do.
Oh look, an actual settler. The question is, where do I send it? Yeah, I'll send it to Zamonia.
Thanks. See you there in a day or two.
Oh, the other settler didn't make it though. And that quantum robo-brain is still there. I don't think that's ever going to clear up. Although technically, if that was the end of the random encounter, I don't think that will clean up until now, in 3 days' time. Because I think everything in Fallout 4, the respawn time is about 3 days. Am I even following the right map mod? Because that doesn't feel like Jamaica Plain. So yeah, must be. Must be. Hot. Sweaty. This is going to become more normal. And unfortunately, if the Blue Yeti wasn't so crap and died within 6 months, I would be able to use that with a fan, because I sort of calibrated it so it didn't die with my fan. At least my big fan, anyway. But this little one is noisy and it's really crap. But it's about the only thing that fits on my desk, so... It's a tower fan, that's why it's so crap and noisy, and I think the bearing's half dead. This isn't Jamaica Plain. Is it? No, this is that swampy shithole sunken city. It is, it's the lost city of Forest Grove. Or at least it will be a lost city within not long. Let's see. Why do I sense this is a bean town? As well. Just feels a little too nice to be vanilla. Hot, hot, hot. And just so it's clear, I'm a woman who does not deal with heat well. Cold is good. Heat, not so good. Cold, you can always do something about it. You can always put on another layer. You can always put on, you can always wrap up warmer. You know, for example, your feet are cold, put a layer of thermal socks on. Still cold, put another layer on. You know, your body's cold, put a jumper on, put a vest on under your clothes, but preferably over your bra. You know, that would just be weird. I think that's only something a superhero would do, is wear their underpants on the outside of the outfit. But, you know, unless you want to do the classic, you know, the old-fashioned superhero look of wearing your underpants on the outside, always go underwear, then like a vest, and you typically your primary thermal layer, then your normal layer, and then and then just outer layer after outer layer. And if you're really, really nesh and feel the cold really badly, then you might end up looking like a polar bear by the end of it. In that you'll have tripled your outward size because you're wearing so many layers. I'm pretty sure polar bears have like layered fur. I'm sure that's how they keep warm. They also have like a thick layer of fat underneath, which will be like your lower layers, or your big except the human seems to wear that equivalent layer, because most humans are nowhere near got enough blubber. Even I'm a fat ass and I still don't have enough blubber for that reason. But when it comes to like, ooh, red stacks, and I managed to miss it both times. Boom. But you know, eventually where does that red stack go? But, you know, I'm sure polar bears have like a layered fur. But basically, or if you're likening it to fruit, do it like an onion. If you get what you want, just peel a layer off. Oh, sentry bot. If you don't notice the alarm, I'm just going to turn the radio off while I'm thinking about it. But if you don't hear that alarm, you know, you can be happily plundering in this little outpost, and then a sentry bot's up your ass.
Sweet.
And without something sufficiently ridiculously overpowered like this, you know, like a 50 cal basically an elephant gun, for all intensive purposes. I might as well pop here, if I'm by the deserted little town, where there's never actually any reason, but you can sort of assume that I doubt it was a single Yaguar that drove them away. Or they all got ghoulified, you know, because I doubt it's just the Yaguar. Although it is actually an adult Yaguar, so it's actually tougher than it's tougher than the average bear. Because the average bear is one of these. Or they all got ghoulified.
Can't help you from this end.
Change, you say? Great defense. Great defenses here. You know, what kind of person would have the defences so easily broken past? You know, they clearly were boarding it up for some reason, but why would you... And say all companions mention how this used to be inhabited, but then suddenly went quiet. Did they all go ghoul? Were they really that scared of Yep? Were they all taken out by 2 Yaogwai? I mean, Yaogwai aren't that threatening. Stand on the upper floor and shoot at them, they will die. And, when I said I think this house is Beantown, I think it's because this is your standard Fallout 4 house, which just is quite clean. What's funny is Beantown clearly isn't overdone because it can run on console. Well, specifically Xbox One. PS4 doesn't allow custom content because Sony. Sony was just being difficult. How can I miss one ambulance? Oh, checkpoint. Where is it? I'm not familiar with this area at all. Oh, it's actually nearby. Looks like ferals, which... Nope! Radical scorpions. Which I think is actually quite bad. She can use that. Nah, radical scorpions are quite weak. Although I think they're quite resistant to energy.
You've done a heck of a job, Sentinel.
Nah, they didn't even break any of the power armor, so you know it's not bad. Rusted out suit T-45. Radical scorpion, radical scorpion. Exploded radical scorpion. I sort of expected ferals this close to Jamaica Plain. Jamaica Plain is basically feral country. They are everywhere. Which is why I'm bringing out ye old Molotov. And a shoot gun. I gotta load my shoot gun.
Hey.
Went and looked the place over, boss. Just some nuisances this time. Fix. Time for us to move in.
Let's get this show on the road.
I don't mind it. When it comes to equipped, I think the Disciples are generally the better equipped. Well, they're middling equipped, while these guys, the Operators, I think are the best equipped. Mainly because they tend to wear like more pieces of their own armor.
Is that it?
Come on, feral, feral, feral. No, you're actually a dead feral. Put 2 in the head just to be sure. Or blast the legs off, that works equally well. I love how this is the one feral I actually have to kill. Boom. And because I don't think that corpse ever cleans up, leave the clothes on it, because otherwise you just get left with a nude corpse, which you don't want. Ah, Jamaica Plain. There was once a gif of dog meat in Jamaica Plain. You'll see in a moment that there is just, as soon as I break through this lock with my bobby pin of amazing lock-picking power, but there is a corridor absolutely full of traps. Like, just tripwires everywhere. Like, someone really, really over the sort of traps.
This light gives us the advantage.
No, that's just logs. That's just logs. I wasn't sure if you actually had to pick up a bit of the Genesis terminal. There it is. The infamous corridor of death. And if you trigger it, 3 of the most powerful laser turrets in the entire game activate. And of course, the GIF was of you standing here, a player here, and Dogmeat just ran straight through, triggering every single one of them.
You're all dead.
That's precisely why you don't trigger the traps. Because you can see how quickly they just destroy. Because there's 3 of them. And if they take multiple hits from this, they must be tough. That was a very poor password. Probably loot or something. And the Treasures of Jamaica Plain is... well, it's a collection of pre-war relics. You know, it's like it's basically a glorified time... basically a glorified time capsule. That's all it is. That's the lock. See how much... that bobby pin just takes so much abuse.
Yes.
And the locks are easier to pick. And what's nice is the light source is actually tied to this light. So as you bat it around, you do actually bat the light around, or at least somewhat. You know, it's just a nice little effect. Fallout 4's lighting is much better than previous entries. Skyrim's is okay. Oblivion, New Vegas, and Fallout 3 are pretty horrible. Also, most pointlessly locked door ever. Like, why? Honestly, why would you bother? Oh yeah, I want a shoot gun. Always blow shit up if you can. Just, you know, something blown now is something that can't blow later. Now let's... I have an idea. Like last time. Special. No, it's actually in Raider, isn't it? And, you know, which gang you take along, basically you can't build the other flags. And Jamaica Plain is a terrible settlement site. But it is, so, you know, I'm actually quite happy with how mine is. I'm quite happy with how I got it. That's if, of course, if you can find transfer settlements, which is right at the bottom. There we go, number 22. Which means it's my newest settlement. And I think that's it. Now watch as it magically builds. You know, as usual, you tend to have to do just a little cleanup after. You know, just like get rid of objects. Because the nuke settlement just doesn't seem to work more than once. You know, it just does such a terror. It only deletes like certain objects. But I'm quite happy with how my Jamaica Plain turned out. You know, I tried to make the best out of what is a very, very limited settlement site. Because it's not a good site. It's very small, you don't have many buildings to work with. Hell, there's even a big empty building you can't actually go in. You know, Jamaica Plain is such an odd site. And it's building, 10% more, 9, 8. That just so happened to be the perfect size to be like a support column. And the lights popped on. I love how my turrets have already identified a threat. But I'll just take you on a little tour. Obviously, I shouldn't even be scrapping shit like the little car, like the assorted cars. But like the cars do need to go. In fact, no, the car has to go immediately because that is just going to spaz out and destroy something. But basically, I try and limit my destruction to like just like removing the cars. You know, I'm not a fan of the cars left around in settlements. Garbage. Actually, I quite like the impaled garbage can. I think that's quite funny. But okay, so where's this defense point that I've got to defend though? Where's this? Oh, it's on the other side of Jamaica. I'm actually quite happy with how my Jamaica Plain turned out. Now, the one little house you do get access to happens to also lead into the main bunkhouse. You know, I'm quite happy with how my Jamaica Plain turned out. The little toilet in here, you know, this is one you could live in. It's not a nasty settlement, but it's a bad site because you only get basically this small area. Oh great, more cars. How do they even get up like that? You know, the cars are the biggest problem in settlements. They just seem to overtake everything. I hear a minigun. I'm sure that's a minigun I hear. That or multiple machine guns, but that sounds very unbrotherhoody. Oh, shite. It's Deathclaw. Of course it's the Deathclaw. This is a regular Deathclaw. And for some reason... Bro, leg it. The checkpoint has fallen. Okay, they're only locked on X6. She is basically a meat shield. That's kind of her point. Why can't I loot this corpse? Specifically just that what? What the hell has gone up with my... I'm going to loot these Deathclaws. Unless... these Brotherhood soldiers... Could it just be that this is just a cell? And this kid in the fridge. That's weird. Let's leave that cell. That checkpoint was just decimated. That one tends to be Deathclaws and it tends to end badly. And also, for some reason, the power armor troops spawn outside of power armor, and it's really, really odd. Is someone present? No. It's One is not present, synth.
Sensors indicating concealed organic life form.
Your sensors need calibrating.
Actuator damage. Targeting sensors fully.
No, you just wanna run around. Why do they always have the machine guns? Oh dear. Was he on the roof? I think he was. Ow. Like, cryomine does not hurt at all. And apparently only affects first person. Boom. Yeah, this strikes me as like what should really be a settlement site once you clear it out. Boom. Yeah, this really just strikes me as what really should be like a settlement site. You know, it's basically a pre-built settlement, but it's just been abandoned. And I've never actually properly explored it before. You know, I've never actually gone around it. But yeah, it's basically a full proper settlement. Complete with work benches and everything, but it's not actually a settlement site. And just testament to the fact that the Institute are dicks and wipe out random settlements for no reason. And this is a weird stealth way in. Oh, for the love of... I can't say I have ever seen a Deathclaw in that there before. And it, of course, the missile launcher tries to take it through the building. Missile launcher is so OP. It is so broken because it just ignores resists. But I can't say I've ever seen a Deathclaw here. Ever. Oh, is it the charge card con man? I think it is.
Pardon me, ma'am. Parker Quinn. I just wanted to say, it's a good thing you came by my con.
Sorry, Hankry.
Yeah? Why is that?
Because I got something you need. Seriously, I can tell you need it. You know how I know? Just because you're here. If a lady stays alive in the Commonwealth, enough to go walking through Southie, she got her affairs in order. You know your shit.
Why is he just here?
Take your sales pitch and shove it up your ass.
Jesus, you kiss your mother with that mouth? I'm just trying to be nice here. No need to get confirmational. Look.
Confirmational.
Dangerous and exceedingly intelligent.
Ah, salesman speak. He doesn't even...
Make you a proposition so spectacular.
Was he reading my first salesman's guide?
Do I have a choice?
Every day you're gonna buy stuff. Food.
Clearly not.
Whatever. And you pay with caps. Caps. Bottle caps. What is this, fucking 1612? A bunch of losers blow up the world 200 years ago, and we have to lug it. So that's why I've been working with every single shop in the Commonwealth to get rid of caps. Introducing the charge card.
You're a fucking thief.
What? What did you call me? You are so dead. Do you understand me? Oh my god, the look in your face. I'm totally... It's super simple.
He's gonna shotgun shoved up his ass in a moment.
Right now, and I give you this charge card. Accepted at any store in the Commonwealth. Up to 100 caps. The 10 extra caps is my service fee. So
I think it's a charge card that actually is...
And this isn't some kind of scam?
It's clearly some kind of scam. Ooh, why would he... He's basically telling you that it's worth 100 and you're paying 110.
as real as it gets.
You're out of your mind.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that, retard.
I said I'll shove a shotgun up his ass. So, I'll shove a shotgun up his ass.
Be like that.
No, it's like he shat blood. Yeah. When I say I'll sure shotgun up his ass, I meant it. Police department. There's just one. Might be actually be on the locked terminal, I can't remember.
Nice.
Because Nick Valentine didn't do it. You know, Nick Valentine wasn't the one that was broken. Wow. Like, that was really worth opening. Hello! Dogs! Hello, a radical roach. Arguably 100 times less frightening than an actual cockroach.
Through.
Yay! Protectron on duty.
Protectron on duty.
Apparently looting is fine. Where is this holotape? There's an evidence tape in every... There it is. There's an Eddie Winter evidence tape in every single police department. Then I think Nick has one as well. Just... You know, just so you can't do it without it. Get in without him. You know, because that's his companion quest. You've got to collect all of those holotapes. Can't remember what Piper's companion quest is, or if she even has one. You know, I actually can't remember if Piper has one. I can't remember if it's technically like report as her companion quest. I can't remember. Kites is you go to the druggy vault and get cured. Turret is the least of my concerns. The turret is so crap, it's really... Is that a commie rifle? It is, it's a commie rifle. You know, I don't like real world names in my Fallout. It's too, you know, it's 100 years later than any of these weapons were ever made anyway. And that's before the Great War. You know, the Chinese knocking off an AK, for example. I'm fine with that, because let's face it, the AK's been around since the 40s, and will probably still be around for another 40 years. But, you know, it's been around since, you know, I think it's 1940, it's, you know, it's post-war, but it's still the 40s, the AK-40. Actually, I think it was 1947, and it's been around, and it's still around today, so I could see things like that surviving. But, you know, most likely the ones in Fallout America would be Chinese copies, hence Chinese rifles. You know, Chinese machine gun, for example. You know, Chinese assault rifle, or CAR as it was informally known. As the acronym. But, you know, stuff like that, I'm fine. Anyway, but like, things, you know, I don't really like cheap, you know, like any Russian weapon, chances are the one you're finding Fallout in any quantity other than like one unique one would be a cheap Chinese knockoff. Because, let's face it, that's who they were against. You know, and let's face it, Americans have a habit of bringing back war trophies from like Anchorage and such. Okay, that sentry bot some clicking. The word clicking, I think, is... I don't know what was going on with that sentry bot sound. Oh no, it is the super mutant. Ah, the Suicider is so dumb. Hell, super mutants in general are just so dumb. That's kind of their thing. Is it? Did I fall in? I fell into their shack. It's not even locked. Talk about, you know, I fell into the mutant hound pen. I didn't have a mutant hound in it. You see me, human, this is your death. No, it isn't. You'll die to super mutants. Where is it? That shot. Pull off the impossible shots. You know, sometimes difficult, VATS can pull off sometimes very incredible. With a crit, you can't miss unless it's actually a physical projectile. Yeah, like the most random gate ever. Is it necessary? No. Is it there? Yes. Loot no ammo, because there's so much of it. No. I'm wary of that. No, it's a laser. It's a charging laser rifle. I'm not scared of it anymore. Now, I actually made changes to the charging barrel for the laser rifle because it's it pretty much has an enforced slow charge period where you can spam it, but it does like no damage. So I just made it so instead of having instead of having to actually like time your shots and wait for it, which made it pretty useless. I decided to just make it so it just had a slower firing rate. No, there's a super mutant left. And as I said, VATS makes impossible. And this is the really, really obvious one. Oh, hello, Stranger Thing 2. That came up. Yeah, that blast had a ridiculous radius. You know, I just watched the replay effectively on the stream, and bloody hell, that blasted a big boom. You know, all because VATS missed an impossibly easy... You missed an Why do I rely on VATS for, like, making shots like... You know, I like to rely on it for Suiciders, so I basically can't hit the nuke, because I swear if you strike them without VATS, 90% of the time it hits the nuke. Even if you actually hit them in the shin, it still hits the nuke. There's a Wastelander about! See? Always hits. Ew. Ew! Why is there a bloatfly coming? Where did that even... Why has that decided to suddenly engage? Bang. This is a surprisingly effective weapon. Nope. Were you actually coming at me with a board? Or were you just trying to punch me? I don't know, I couldn't quite make it out. Boom. There's the next one. There it is. Oh, good trip. Yeah, tripping dead bodies is fun, but when it comes to real fun with dead bodies, well, the real fun with dead bodies comes from when you hit them and they then get launched into the sky. When Havoc just decides that reality just isn't fun enough. Some, you know, I have had it where I've shot someone and they suddenly spring up into this. They make a leap for the heavens with their corpse. It's ridiculous. Oh no, not Chargy.
Good. Starting to get bored.
Look, I will act. You know, that time I took a scope shot so it didn't randomly hit the mini nuke. Because I'm not relying on VATS to make a shot like that again. Yeah, and I learned my lesson. I'm not using VATS on something like that. I don't blind fire because for some reason that always ends up hitting the nuke. It's like, that's probably what's considered lucky, is to hit the nuke, which is a guaranteed insta-kill for it. But it's also a case of hit the nuke and you not only do you lose your precious mini-nukes, not that I really need them now, I've got enough skill to make this thing just ridiculously overpowered, but you know, the missile launcher is just ridiculously overpowered. Oh, there's something respawned. Oh, I'm disappointed. Oh. And the one spot where I can't get out. Really? I can't. I'm not allowed to jump. Console to the rescue. Now I managed to find the one spot. I don't even know what those hostiles are. They must be melee. Might be radical roaches. Might be dogs. I don't know. I can't say I often explore up here because I never have the free fall booties normally. So I normally, you know, a fall would be dead. Oh, there's an outpost there. If I had my jetpack, I could jump across. Oh, I can jump across anyway. Secure. I don't think this is Gunners. No, it isn't. Random cat. Yes, because, you know, if you were known to sleepwalk, this is the safest place to be. On top of the old freeway. You know, that is really, 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 really sensible place to be if you go sleepwalking. It's on top of something where a fall is guaranteed to be lethal as it's almost as tall as it's taller than some buildings. Nope. Let's read our note. Scroll, 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 scroll. Note. Ah, random encounter settler. I was kind of hoping for a payoff from up there. Sounds like gunners. Yep. Just like Talon Company, they feel they need to scream the name out. You know, the only difference really between the Gunners and Talon Company is that the Gunners actually do understand the concept of talking, and they are legitimate mercs. They're extremely territorial, and when they're paid to do a job, they do it with extreme efficiency, but they... You know, at least the Gunners, they aren't always hostile. Talon Company is hostile no matter what you do. But basically they're the same entity. Oh, super mutant. Pull off an impossible shot, that. Use the power of the crits. It's about the only time VATS actually ever does anything. I'll fall down. I worked so hard to get up here. That's actually a surprisingly deep pool. Especially considering it's on top of a building. Nah, I'm well out of range. You know, Fallout 4 does look... I'll give it credit. It may have a very small world space, but the world space also is quite... At least around in a boss, inside Boston itself, the world space is very, very dense and it's also very vertical. Now that is good neighbour. I do not want to fall into good neighbour. The fact that you can implies how Fallout 4 is definitely supposed to be played vertically. Extend, push me off. Your teleportation bullshit. Having the free-fall boots does make doing dumb shit like that actually possible. They are quite... Although, of course, you could just wear 2 pieces of Acrobat's Legendary in that gear, and that will do the same effect.
First mistake, last mistake.
No, really. I think it'll be your last mistake. I don't think it was your first mistake. Letting the one with a big shotgun get close to you. Not good. Not clever by any means. Ah, the Shamrock Tap House. Might as well go in. You know, I'm basically waiting for that settlement to reset, so... Great arrows. Not even, like, thinking that they would come through the main door. Ah, it's a flaming corpse. Raiders just aren't that threatening. Because they tend to have quite useless weapons. You know, when you hear a machine gun going off, it's normally something shit like a pipe. You know, it's a pipe weapon, which is kinda shitty.
Nice.
Oh look, a magazine. I don't think I've ever found that one before, because that mannequin normally falls over. Yes, I can't actually say I've ever found that one before. I can see your shadow, dumbass. Broke you! Woo! Ow! That must have been like advanced combat shotgun. That explains a lot. Explains why that hurt so much. What do I eat? Do I have... The question is, do I have any like cooked food? I'll eat some canned dog food. Have a nice delicious... Then have some delicious soft shell meat. Eat. And some crispy squirrel. You know, about the only raiders that actually have good gear is the bosses. Also, credit where it's due, those raiders either have impeccably good aim, or impeccably bad aim. I mean, if in the settler's eyes, it was probably impeccably good aim. In the, well, it depends on whether or not they were trying to hit him or whether they were trying to scare him shitless. I mean, I don't know what raiders do. I don't know if they're a kill. This is a kill gang or a just torment gang. Because some raiders tormenting, some is just pillaging him. Oh, it's turret. Oh, it's turret. So not threatening. I'm used to turrets being threatening, but nah, these aren't. When you grow up with TF2, you sort of expect the stationary turrets to be very, very dangerous. They aren't. They really aren't in Fallout 4. To be honest, as long as an engineer isn't babysitting his sentry gun's pretty easy to deal with too. Oh look, it's the pack.
Scamper off, cow. Ain't too smart to come around after pissing in our watering hole.
No, that's something you would do. I won't sink to that level. I'm not sinking to the pack's level of pissing in a watering hole. That's what they would do. Disgusting animal. They're just disgusting, the pack. There's a reason why I never side with them. The only time I have sided with them is before I understood how the siding happened, when I favoured solely the side balls. But now I know that you have to... It's the faction you give the least to, and if you don't, the operators go. Then I made sure I never ever favoured the pack. I always give the operators at least one, disciples at least one, and the pack nothing normal. Okay, I give the pack Kitty Kingdom, but I give the other two each. So even when it comes to settlement time, there's a guarantee that the pack will go. Oh no! It's defeated by steps! It's just like a Dalek, it's completely defeated by a slight step. Had to go round. I never understood the terror of the original Daleks where, oh no, the Daleks are coming! Just go up the stair, quick, to the nearest staircase was the response. It should have been the response. I never understood it. It's this Custom House Tower, I think it is. I just know it's a Boston landmark, that's all I know. I don't know much of American history, because in this country you get taught the history of the world, not just America. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just going... Wait, there should be super mutants here, unless they don't respawn here. You want someone to be? Oh look, he has a handmade rifle. Oh look. I never understood the name handmade rifle because it is clearly based on the Kalashnikovs of assorted type. You know, why they can't just call it like a Chinese assault rifle, I don't know. Sorry, I can't resist blowing shit up. Yeah, you see something like that, you just gotta let go, boom. I think I tried to get away from Good Neighbor, and I think I'm actually closer to it than I was before. Where am I? I have no idea where I'm. No, I'm pretty close to Good Neighbor.
Hey there.
Fusion is still secure, ma'am.
Brotherhood's got a presence here.
Scribes are still combing the building for tech. This place is a gold mine.
We're still running into synth patrols, but it's nothing we can't handle.
Really? The Institute's blown up. Why are they still so interested in mass fusion? Yeah. Nothing there, super mutant. Dying isn't on my agenda. Not unless you have like a suicider. Reinforcements. Must be that one that actually patrols over Boston itself. Boston, Boston, Boston. I can't get out of Boston. I'm stuck in Massachusetts forever. Now, if Swan isn't a rotting pile of corpse on the floor, I'm sure that vertibird always engages. I think its sole purpose is sort of to engage Swan. You know, who didn't take Swan out earlier? Rail sign. Not sure where, well, I think I know where. Boom. Ooh, these are super mutants. Boom. I swear these mutants I swear the unofficial patch said it fixed these not glowing. And I know I'm pretty sure I've made no changes to mutant hounds, at least at that level. Combat zone. Do I get Kite? Well, after what happened with Piper, no. Piper went hostile and tried to murder me and was for some reason invincible because I think she was stuck in vertibird mode. Which makes companions invincible so they can't die on a vertibird. I get a distinct impression I've just come out the same way I came into Boston. Yes, I think I have. Yes, I have.
Protect and serve.
Yeah, well, stick to the outskirts. At least then I know I can navigate. You know, if I stick on the outskirts, stick on the coastline. Find my way to the Pridwood. Random settler on a boat. Okay.
You look like you can handle yourself. I'll give you that.
Look, if you're thinking of robbing me, don't.
Already have. You know, actually, when it comes to safe places to be, boat is one of the best places you can be. Well, assuming the irradiated sea life can't bring it down, of course. Yeah, but compared to a lot of places, it's probably one of the safer places to be. Oh, he starved to death. Because I don't think anything killed him. I don't see any evidence of anything else around. So I think he starved to death. Or, judging by the amount of guano, he could have died by guano inhalation. Could have stood on it, ground it up a bit, and sort of inhaled and died off it. I know it can be really bad at guano. It can get really, really bad if there's loads of it. Maybe you just died from guano inhalation. And guano is basically a fancy way of saying bird shit. No, it's... Who knew irradiated gulls still have to shit? And I'm guessing it's guano, buddy. That is splattered and it's coastal, so it's seagull. And there's more of it. Yeah, it must be guano. The ubiquitous American tugboat. As to why there's so many tugboats and yet no facilities to have any boats larger than a tugboat, I don't know. I mean, I get that they had ship models, but they had that massive freighter. They could have put a couple of those around. You know, dock large enough for one of those. It would sort of make it so it wasn't like just like all random small fishing boats and random big tugs. Boston Airport. At least I know where I am now. Oh, I need more signal grenades. Why isn't Farmer farming? He was built as a farm bot, why isn't he farming? Who knows? But I need more signal grenades, so I need to pop up the Prydwen to get more. Oh look, the vertibirds coming. Vertibirds do all come back to the Prydwen. At least in the Brotherhood. I don't know what happens to the gunner ones when they finish their patrol. And they always land like underneath the Prydwen as well. They never talk. They never actually fly to the Prydwen, which is a bit weird. No. Stream viewers hanging again. Oh, you've upgraded to T51. I don't think he was T51 before. I'm sure it was T45. Who knows, he might actually be in T60 soon. Although I don't think the ones in the interior change.
I hope I live long enough to witness the Brotherhood's next triumph.
That ladder just strikes me as the most dangerous thing on the Prydwen. Everything else is really well designed, and then there's this ridiculous ladder, which is clearly designed for like for power armor troops to just belly flop down. But you know, why not just have like a spiral staircase? Why have this like ridiculously lethal all vertical ladder? Or have like a ship staircase, which is very, very almost vertical, but it's very much still a staircase.
Great work, ma'am. Have you ever fired a minigun?
Excuse me, Professor Skara?
Oh well, she's actually the fix I did work. No longer wearing a Vault-Tec coat. Well, undershirt looks a little fresh. No, I don't want your collect crap side quest.
Can I help you with anything?
Let me see what you
Just the shop. It's always just the shop. No, I think they count as weapons, don't they? Well, let's buy Warrior ammo. Can't go wrong with ammo. Ooh, what do I want? An automatic laser pistol? I thought it was on ammo. That's what on the ammunition front. The question is, do I have enough shit to sell? Let's see. I never use mines. They are so useless. Like, just so useless. And I swear I get loads of Fat Man launchers for no reason. and Nocturnal Flamer. Nah, I don't have enough ammo to make it worth keeping. By the time I find enough ammo for a flamer, I'll find another flamer. Oh dear. The stuffed bear. Usual pack's lack of style coming in. Oh, that's a useless legendary Resolute. There are so many useless legendary effects. And then there's some that are actually really, really handy, but only on certain types of weapon. Like, Explosive is pretty useless on a single shot weapon, but it's really, really handy on like a rapid fire weapon. And then the other one would be Spray and Pray, which is kind of ridiculous. Oh, there we go.
There's shelter and supplies at the police station in Cambridge.
There, now I've got some signal grenades to pop back to Bloody Nuka World for the 50th time. Stretch, stretchy, stretch. Now, I know that's supposed to just be a reference to Fallout 3, but it just sort of, you know, it has a secondary meaning to me. Like, oh, that went off in a completely different. You fucker! I hate when it. You know, sometimes you just feel like you've been you wasted a grenade when you really shouldn't. Oh yeah, you gotta stick a 0 at the end of it. But I think I take that comment as a comment on how people say Fallout 4 looks bad. Well, look at Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 suddenly looks a hell of a lot better. Because Fallout 3 is pretty ugly. So land it there, it can't land. Land it where it can land, in like shallow water, which is where it will probably end up landing. And it won't refuse us to land. The signal grenades can be really, really weird. Look, there it is. They can be so fussy. I mean, I do have a collection of like HD textures for Fallout 3, well, effectively Tale of Two Wastelands. You know, I've sort of got, because textures are compatible as are meshes, you know, because they're basic, at their core, they are pretty much exactly the same engine, so any assets for one will work with the other. You just gotta change it. Yeah, so it, you know, that's just really being fussy for no reason. They like to waste signal grenades for no reason, these vertebrates. Yep, might as well take it to the Nuka World Transit Center. You know, my ruling for travelling to Nuka World will be, I'm not taking the train every time, because that just is going to take forever. But, you know, it's just burning time for the sake of it. But I'm going to fly there and then take the fast travel to Nuka World from Nuka World. So basically, I'm only going to fast travel when I need to get out to and from. Basically, to skip the train ride. That's all I'm going to do. This custom house tower. It's actually quite tall. And it's one of the things you can't clipped. But when it comes, you know, some people, you know, you might complain all you like about, you know, Fallout 4's depiction of Boston and Washington DC. But at least they've got every single landmark in. You know, they've got a lot of landmark buildings in. And they look very much like they do. Then you got New Vegas, which doesn't really have much of Vegas going on. The Strip is like, I know Vegas in the 60s wasn't that huge, but you know, there's no like real landmarks of Vegas left. There's the sign and that's about it, but otherwise the skyline looks like nothing. I doubt that all the hotels would have been bulldozed. There would have been at least one standing that would be the same as it was in the 60s. And it's something I hope Fallout 4 New Vegas rectifies a bit. Because they do seem to be making graphical updates to everything else, and making interior updates to, you know, cope with Fallout 4's better AI. Which is less charging, more you know, like basically put cover in that they would NPCs use. Because the cover AI is a lot better in Fallout 4. They actually use cover rather than just charging in until one on either you or they are dead. Speaking of Fallout 4 New Vegas, the UI is returning. You know, so instead of having the clean, maybe a little too sterile, but otherwise very uncluttered and very minimalist Fallout 4 UI, we're getting a more bulky, rather pointlessly segregated into bar health form New Vegas UI. Like, they didn't even think they were doing it, but just out of the blue, someone on the team came up with it out of nowhere. And like, you know, you can't not put it in when that happens. However, weapon condition, I've got updates on. It will exist, and it will be pretty much exactly like New Vegas. But also, just like New Vegas, they are putting in a global value or a game setting. I can't remember which one. I'm not sure which one they're actually putting in. But they are putting it in. And it didn't sound like they were going to before I made mention of it. But basically, there's a setting in New Vegas that you can change. One for armor, one for weapons. That changes the rate of degradation. Default values are like 0.3 and 0.25, I think. Or something like that. And I set it to 0 in mine. You know, I've got a mod that sets it to 0. And then, but they're also going to put that functionality in, so if you don't like the weapon degradation, which I don't because it's tedious, I don't mind such stuff on survival, because I never go into survival, because, well, let's face it, survival is got a lot of micromanaging going on in it, but I don't like that. I don't play a game to micromanage things. I play a game to explore, have fun, get in fights, etc. I don't do it to micromanage on menus all the time. But you can, thankfully, with a little bit of creation kit know-how, you'll be able to turn that off easily enough. As for, and what was the other feature that sort of came up? They're sort of reintroducing grads. I couldn't really, the answer I got was not very clear, but they are redoing New Vegas style radiation, but they also said it won't be a replacer. So either is a case of Mojave radiation affects you in the useless special debuffs that it gave you in New Vegas, and Boston radiation reduces your health like normal, or the special debuffs are going on top of the health debuff. I never felt, I brought it up because I find New Vegas' radiation is completely not. There is basically 0 to 999 rads, you are completely safe. The special debuffs are pointless and weak. They are so weak. But, yeah. Anyway.
One more outpost to claim. You want me to set up that job? Just say. So, what do you need?
Go to Jamaica Plain.
I want you to head to an outpost.
Alright. Where am I going?
Jamaica Plain. Main.
Suppose I better get a move on then.
Hey, Shank.
Boss, what can I do for you?
I was hoping you could arrange a job for me.
Yeah.
Now go claim my settlement, whichever it is. Of course, we're going to claim a new gang outpost. You're not even allowing me to do anything else, so why bother?
Sure thing, boss. You gonna talk to them yourself?
Or should I get...
Right? Get a gang together.
Always wipe, because at least that just gives you more options.
And which gang you want to join you on the job?
The
Operators.
I'll let them know. So, where you want to do this?
Yeah, I can actually take Hangman's Alley. I have it semi-set up in a...
Yeah, that one will do. So you know how this job works. Head to the target, put down anything that moves. Crew will be waiting for you when you get there. Help you deal with whatever you may run into. Give those settlers hell.
Give those settlers hell.
I'm not much for conversation.
Not even settlers.
Hey there. Was on sentry duty the other night. Spotted a pair of disciples eating a... Oh god, I hope it was a rat stag.
No one knows what the disciples do. They're just the disciples. They just do whatever they want. But and it's bad with when Oda Pack's disgusting when I pick the bloody anarchists over them. Then again, the disciples aren't that bad. I mean, at least the rule of don't get caught makes them like they're not just like anarchy for everyone. They're just anarchy for themselves. Just as long as they don't get caught. There, pick perks. Travel back to the Commonwealth, and hopefully I won't have to come back here because of Shank ever again. No, I just gotta go down to Jamaica Plain. Stretchy, stretchy, stretch. I don't like to fast travel. Oh, I'll do that when I get back. You just have to spring that on me whenever I go to Nuka World, don't you? No one even talked to me about it. Heat's starting to set in again. The sun's starting to shine again. I don't cope with heat well. I'm a cold weather girl. I don't do heat. I'm someone who wears shorts and a polo shirt in winter when it's snowing. No joke. The only time I wear a coat is when it's snowing. Mainly because there's typically a bit of wind that needs to be sort of slowed down. And, well, I really dislike snow. I really dislike it. I have always hated snow ever since school. So, because twats would always pick it up and throw it at you. Even if you didn't, told them no, they would still pick it up and throw it at you like twats that they are. So many brainless twats at school. It's telling when like more than half, like almost 3/4 of the high grade classes, which is what I was always in because I actually knew what study was. Okay, I know I didn't study at all. I just, I was just naturally decent at. I just know how. I just wasn't in the lowest. I just wasn't thick, but I was in the. And it was telling when like most of the class was female. Well, most of the dumbass classes were full of boys. Sort of telling.
Time to put on a show.
Hell yeah!
Hopefully this one will be a stealth turd who has a machine gun, although he probably will be someone with a machine gun, because machine guns seem to be omnipresent now. Military spec weapons are omnipresent. And that, or the laws of having no assault rifles was like, like automatic weapons, wasn't passed in the Fallout universe. Because, in reality, the only time you'd ever need an automatic weapon is if you're a soldier.
Come on, our side has the most fun.
So when it comes to presence in Nuka Town, that the pack just has so little. Looks too busy doing disgusting things to each other.
You ain't nothing. Smells like dead meat. Watch your neck.
And saying really dated shit like dead meat. Oh, dieser Supermutant! Oh, he's in Invinci mode. Oh dear, the super mutant is attacking. I don't even think he can attack me. This is sad. Oh no, he figured out his way onto the cars. Oh, that was just sad. That was just sad. The big question is, how the hell did a super mutant, who was so thick that he tried to hit me with a hammer, how the hell did that make it through the gauntlet, or even get in the gauntlet in the first place? I mean, get through, probably just got through in just pure dumbassery alone. You know, it's being completely hard, being impervious to most of it. But, they are quite resilient things, super mutants. But, basically these challenges, you always want to fight them because some of them have unique stuff, but at the very least they always have very good stuff. They always have like top end stuff. The Super Sledge is one of the top end weapons for melee. At least for that spamming, melee is completely useless. By the way, melee is completely useless if you're not that spamming, because VATS is like the only way you're ever going to hit anything with melee in Fallout 4. And it's the one combat-related feature that, in terms of gameplay, in terms of actual combat gameplay, was the one thing that New Vegas was superior in to Fallout 4. Weapon condition was just annoying when mid-battle. I feel a little miffed that I didn't get it if I was a survival player, but it's not something that appealed to me in the slightest. But boom. Oh no, legendary look. But that's like the one thing that was better, was melee combat was just so much better. I mean, let's see, you could actually block instead of, let's just demonstrate, instead of just doing that, you could actually hold a block, time it, and then whack, and then block again, rather than... Also, the melee is horrific. This is about the only thing that's... it might actually be the only thing that's easier in third person because it just swings better. It's the one thing that New Vegas and 3 did a lot better combat-wise. Oh great, Deathclaw. So because of where this one is, I don't think it can actually get out. I'm not convinced these grenades are even hurting it. No, I'm not convinced they're hurting it at all. Damn my specialty weird grenade. And that's why you don't want to fight them normally. But this one, I don't think can actually get out. I don't think it can actually fathom its way through the water. So it's actually kind of completely harmless. But yeah, melee, not something that's particularly fun in Fallout 4. It's just more frustrating than anything else. It's either retardedly broken with VATS or really just tedious. They're raiders. Standard raiders. Come on, pop your head up. Oh. I am a terrible sniper. And that's against like semi-predictable AI. And I'm a terrible sniper. Although I can spam a Kunstman, alright. Well, as you'll find this Wednesday. Because the map, I'm just gonna give you spoilers, cover your ears for the next minute. But this week's TF2 video, a bug happens. The match gets stuck. So, you know, I allow myself to do some really dumb shit like going Kunstman sniper. And surprisingly, I do actually kill things with it, because it's the Kunstman. Oh shit, I'm too close to missile. It's the one downside with a spammo launcher. What? The fucking missile hitting it doesn't detonate the nuke? Really? You know, doing anything causes that. You know, shooting it in the chest can cause the nuke to detonate. But whacking it with a missile? Nah. Of course, that logic makes perfect sense. Have I not claimed this one? No, I am not allied to this settlement. Oh well. Aliens. And apparently Zetans have Vulcan blood. Now, the question is, where is this little cave that he ran off to? Little Zetan ran off to? Yeah, since I found a UFO, I need to find the aliens. Yeah, since I've actually stumbled across the crash site, I probably should find the cave. The problem is tracking the trail of non-existent trail of blood. It's quite awkward. No, too far. It's not far from, if I remember correctly, it's not very far from the actual location. Ooh, brain fungus. Ew. Squelch. There it is. I don't even need a local map. Oh well, error sans. What's up I'm new to this stream? Well, at the moment I'm currently just looking for an alien. Otherwise, trying to get power play to trigger, but which means raiding shitty settlements. Oh, first contact with an alien life form. My synth enforcer kills it because she's trigger happy. Also, the alien blaster. They made it more. Let's just have a look. Where is it? Alien blaster pistol there. If you look at the inspect, which is X, they have made it more phaser-like by giving it a little bit that sticks out the back. Before it was like very very 50s space blaster, and now it's more phaser, which is still very 60s. So yeah, it's very phaser, like original series phaser in shape now. Well, with the upgrades, it becomes more like the traditional alien blaster. I'll just try and get that. Ooh, brain fungus. Delicious, disgusting brain fungus. Itch. Oh, itchy. Ow. Wink. I like to just jump over things randomly. Oh, is it scavengers versus like a Mr. Gutsy or something? Yep, it's always scavengers versus something here. Always. Oh, I'll be so glad when I get to murder them next stream. So glad when I get to kill those pack off. Put them down like the animals they are.
No one said you could die.
Oh no, I broke a bobby pin, what will I do? Just turn it a little more. These things are resilient. Yes.
I'll find you.
Well done, Vats. It hit.
Damn it.
I'm blind. Well, yeah, you are wearing a stupid gas mask. It's probably fogged up. There's a reason people don't wear gas masks normally. Because they're uncomfortable, sweaty, and they also fog up really, really easily. Like, really, really easily they fog up. They're really, really bad.
Been a roach or something.
I don't think radical roaches make much noise. The fact that they exist at 10 Pines Bluff and no one deals with them. I mean, they're radical roaches, they're not even particularly... Yay! But... miscellaneous. Scroll, 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 scroll. Transfer settlementes. Importo settlemento. Hangman's Alley, which ironically is on the character which can't even use even in artillery because the Minuteman radio is all fucked up, but built it anyway because, well, she was my only Minuteman character. Now, why do I get the feeling I've got to delete quite a lot of crap to make this settlement work properly? Because, or did I actually? I might have left the buildings. Actually, I don't remember. Because I know I built this structure. Now, the thing to note about this settlement is, yes, there's definitely some things that didn't get deleted, but some that did. I might have actually... No, I definitely didn't leave this wall in. But... the funny thing is, You can't build this up here normally. I had to console command this up here. You know, this one isn't too bad. It's functional. You know, yeah, this building had to go. This building has to go. You know, it's one of those things that this building went. I'm not, you know, that fence, not so sure, but this building. That building definitely went. These buildings stayed. You know, I know it says don't start scrapping shit immediately, but sometimes you got to. I never even bother opening that door because it just provides another side for things to attack from. But yep, that settlement's done. Now I need to go away, leave the settlement area, and come back. You know, much later. Take a wide, circuitous route of it. I need to get away far enough away that it can reset. Whee. Nope, I thought I had my yeah, that's my that's my force of nature. You feel that? It's called death. Dirty raider. You live right next to the water and you can't even jump in to clean yourself. Dirty raiders. Funny is, the one in power armor hasn't come back. The rest have, but not the one in power armor. Speaking of power armor, like, the fuck is that doing there? Just this random suit of Brotherhood T-45 power armor just floating in the air. The question is it steel? It is. What is this doing here? Nope. No, when Recycle Actor doesn't fix it, that's, you know, when Recycle Actor doesn't fix it, then you're best just abandoning it and hoping it disappears next cleanup. Recycle Actor is used to basically reset something. It's should never be used on player, ever. It's that it should never be used on, like, companions either. It's sort of a very you know, it's fine on non-named NPCs, you know, random gen NPCs it typically fixes, but I wouldn't use it on, like, actual named NPCs or player. Shoot you right in the goggle. That's what you get for wearing such stupid goggles. You can't see when someone pointed a gun at your face. I don't remember that wall being there. Oh well. Wee. Wee. Bit of a lag site, this place. It's Fallon's basement, of course it's going to be a lag site. Nope, that animation's still going. Nope, it's still going. Means I'm probably still in range of Hangman's Alley. Nope, still going. Nope, still going. That's weird. Oh, the animation stops when you get so far away. Nope. Loading screen. Nope. That's weird. This animation is not going away. Maybe if I stick like a... Yeah, let's stick like, say, Zeta Invaders in. Nope, still going. There it goes, it's fixed now. Sims! Very fresh Sims. Authority. I don't think they will. Somehow. Yes, crouch down. It lets me shoot you right in the face, Simpy Boy. There is a lot of Sims here. And they're all like they're all clones! I mean, granted, they probably came off the same production line, but still. About the only time an EMP grenade will be of any use is killing Sims. How the hell did I... Yeah, come on, actually show your face. There we go. Now that's will make an impossible shot. Bang. There. Oh, there's a lot of random Sims. And like all the same. All in not pristine white uniform. Is this one of their evac sites? So where are the... No, why are the Sims not going with their masters? No, this makes no sense. Itchy ear. Now, do I own this crappy settlement? I'm seeing a car, so I'm going to say no. I'm not seeing any signs of life, so no, I do not own this settlement. I'm just seeing a shitty little farm. Also, I gave these caravan guards names because they are always the same two per caravan. So I actually named them as well as made them more unique.
Hey there.
Dangerous world out there. Good thing too. Otherwise, no business for doctors. Am I right?
Actually, I
got loads of stim packs.
Do you? Let's see. Do you actually have loads of... You do actually, 9. Not quite sure that qualifies as loads, but I'll take it. Here, take my T45. Get my ball strength. Take my combat armor. And the cowboy hat, wherever I got that from. Take my shit because I don't want it. Those harnesses are worth nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. There we go.
Am I a
ever glad to see you. We could really use a hand.
Would you?
You in some kind of trouble?
A pack of feral ghouls has hold. If more of them start...
Okay, let's see.
Not a problem.
It'll be good, not...
Oh, the one that actually is nearby. That's surprising. Yes, that's surprising. Normally they send you to the other side of the Commonwealth looking for it. Oh no! Mines! It's feral, so... get my shotgun out. Also, I once lured a Deathclaw down here, and... it's where I realised Deathclaws can throw cars at you. I'm not even kidding, they do. They can throw cars at you. Which does a hell of a lot of damage, if not... you know, because it's a physics damage. And they just whack you over, throw a car in your face. Lost them as it... nah. We may have lost the ghoul, but the ghoul didn't lose us. The first time I came through here... boom. Fatty ferals. Right, Aslan's still there. You ain't dead. Not alert, but ain't dead either. Ain't dead or alert. Dead, alive, alert. Ferals are sneaky beaky. Ferals are all sneaky. Technical documents, always more technical documents. Oh, got the officer's password. Hello, Ghost 60. Well, ferals! Exploded ferals! I didn't even realise ferals had that much blood in them. Yeah, stretchy, stretchy, stretchy. I know there's ferals somewhere. Having a companion is really helpful when you can't aim. Technical documents. Where are you, ferals? Where are you, little feral? Oh, don't fall down a cliff. Please don't fall down a hole. Oh, what a delightful place for the mess hall. Right underneath the shithouse. Lovely. The smell that comes down must be horrific. I love how you only have to kill one of them. And maybe without the glowing one they just die. Who knows? And it's not like Raiders where the boss is about the only thing keeping them together most of the time. Priority elimination makes sense with Raiders, but not really with good old fat Ashen Ghouls. That was a legendary one, really? when feral ghoul reavers were like actually the toughest type of feral? Yeah. That was so long ago. Oh no, a master lock. I am so defeated. With my trusty bobby pin box. My trusty bobby pin. I break in without trouble into a heavily armed military facility. Yeah, you can't shoot through the barred window. Who knew? I love how to give the National Guard a power armor though. It makes sense that it's a knackered old T-45 suit, but... Well, someone had been to Nuka World. Now the question is this always T-45? Or is this leveled? I think that's always T-45. Because normally if you recycle actor it should update it to the newest level list. So I think that might always be T-45. Cunning. The sentry bot trap. You break in, the sentry bot comes out. Which somehow managed to get through this door, apparently. No, I don't know how either. It's a sentry bot, it's enormous. How the hell did it even get through that gap? I love how you can take the clothes off a, like, disturbed corpse that's been like completely destroyed, but you can't take a perfectly preserved pair of pants off a skeleton. I don't get that. I had no idea this was even here. This is completely new. I've never found this before. I love how the expert lock's providing much more resistance than the master lock. But my bobby pin's even stronger, so... Here's the thing. Are we... Nah. Apparently it's XO1 level now. Apparently. I was just wondering what level I was actually at. I'm not going to pick up a set like that. That would be a bit dishonest, but... Report your success to settlers. Settler.
There are those ghouls that were giving you trouble.
At least they were actually legitimately nearby. They are within direct line of sight.
You did? That's great news. Friend, feel free to use our workshop anytime you'd like.
I can't say I've heard that settler's voice very often either. Let's just get rid of these old trucks and cars and all the manner of debris left here. Or debris. Well, you know, let's just clear this mess up and... Well, I think this settlement is sufficiently clean. Settings, transfer settlements. Now, there are cages at this settlement site. Yeah. Oh, that's a question. Which one is it called? County Crossing, isn't it? I'm actually not sure. I'm actually sure what this place is called. County Crossing. It is County Crossing. I wasn't 100% sure, so... Best be sure. So, County Crossing, number of items, yep. Yes, nuke settlement. Boom. Now there are 3 cages here that should pop in. They're going to be inside the cage if they're not. Yep, the Brahmin's in the cage. Now these are Deathclaw cages. I have gone for many in-game weeks and never caught one. It's not unusual. I think when it comes to animal cages, if there are animals nearby, then there's more chance of catching them. If there isn't, there isn't. And yes, this, like all the settlers like to congregate in the Deathclaw pen. Also, these are ridiculous. They just spam harpoons. They're amazing, like a machine gun. Now, I'm fully aware that there's a big gap in the fence here, which is actually supposed to have a. It's like my one settlement site that actually has a guard post in it, but there's actually a handy guard post that just happens to just about fit that gap. Yeah, but it's basically that's the only time I ever really use guard posts is just to fill that gap. But other than that, I'm quite, I'm pretty happy with how this settlement is. That's the main bunkhouse. This is like the private home sort of thing, I think. Yeah, this is a more private. That's a smaller home. This is a more communal home. That's just a. Yeah, I might even leave that tree there, just say build around it. But yeah, this is like the sort of main bunkhouse. If you notice a few of my settlements, I do tend to have bunkhouses. Also, I don't know why I stopped with the beds changed beds halfway through. I don't know. But I tend to stick with the same sort of concept for my settlements. A larger residence and a smaller residences. Some even get luxury residences. But I am out of time, so I'm just going to fast travel as far away from the settlement as I can think. As I know is safe. Say 10 Pines Bluff. Just to give that settlement a chance to. I don't like saving near them when they've just been transferred, but almost out of time. Come on, loading screen. Stretchy. Come on. Total hack. Anyway, that'll do. I know I can hear gunfighting at this. But that's. Yes, X6, get in my face, please. Companions are so dodgy, they follow AI. Sometimes they're actually in your face, sometimes they're nowhere to be seen. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. Thanks for watching, subscribe or donate if you want. Goodbye! Oh, for love of, come on, autosave! Oh, it didn't even go. I misclicked. And then it autosaves really fast. Oops. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. Subscribe and donate if you want. Goodbye!